Tyson's just day-to-day, and then Anton had an excused personal absence.
Okay. And Tyson, as far as the injury, is just day-to-day?
Yeah, just day-to-day.
What did you want to get out of today's practice?
Alignment, assignment, getting our cleats in the ground when we have a call, on both sides of the ball. Fundamentals. We did a 40-play alignment assignment period of just getting the call, getting our cleats in the ground, making loud guttural communication, getting the calls in quickly. That was what we were really kind of focusing on from an emphasis standpoint. Obviously, some of these guys are going to be a little bit sore that played a lot of snaps in the game, so we were trying to really hone in on the mind, got conditioning out of it kind of as well. So that was kind of the thought of today.
Obviously, you'll know more next time you guys play against the Saints, but do you feel like guys have kind of taken it to their heart and realized there's penalty issues that, hey, this is something we need to clean up right now?
I'd hope so. Ultimately, we're not playing the game as coaches, so we can only say so much. At some point, the players, they do need to take the ownership being out there, and so much of what we talked about is until we kind of don't beat ourselves, then we're not going to probably be able to consistently beat anybody.
And then when you went back to the film, just what were your impressions of Tootin, seeing him in a live setting for really
I
first
thought
time?
he ran it pretty well, actually. I thought from a physicality standpoint, if you're going to take the positive from the other night, was on both sides of the ball was physical. We stopped the run and we ran it okay, but we ran it when we kind of needed to, and it became a little bit more of a throw game. But I thought he did some nice things. He was able to make some guys miss in the hole. He ran hard. He had good ball security, so I was pleased with Tootin.
When you look back at Trevor, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was solid. He went out and did his job. The one to BT was something that was kind of a scheme error in a way. He could maybe see that safety and move on and progress. Don't force it in there, but that was also a crappy play call. So I'll take some of that one. But I thought he operated well. We didn't ask him to go and do too much, but it was just solid from an operations standpoint for sure.
You talk about the defense after the game, just in terms of what you saw in film. How do you feel about it now?
Yeah, it was disappointing to see some of the communication errors that we did have, but also just alignment, assignment issues. We have new systems on both sides of the ball. It's going to probably take a little bit more than a preseason game to maybe correct some of the things that we wanted to get corrected and play as sound as we would like to play. But I was proud of a couple moments, specifically the fourth down stop when we score a couple plays later on, which was a huge play in the game. And then at the end of the game, when you needed to get a stop in 4 minutes, they stopped the run 3 times in a row, force a punt, and give us a chance to go win the game. So when it mattered, there was some nice plays, some good effort all around, but we need to get some of that stuff fixed.
And then just seeing Travis Hunter, what he was able to do, what did you get out of that?
Yeah, I think a couple of his just route technique we got to work on, continue to work on it. But I thought he made the right decisions. His alignment assignment was all proper and clean. Defensively, just got to clean up a few things from an alignment standpoint and just staying in the run, in the fit a little bit tighter on that one run that got out. But that's practice and repetition.
Coach, do you want to see the starters a little deeper this week? Too early to tell? What's your practice schedule?
Too early to tell. Yeah, we got pads on tomorrow. We'll have another scrimmage, if you will, on Thursday, I believe, where we'll be able to kind of get after a little bit more, see, and maybe make a decision after that.
And that would be padded.
That's right, yes.
As far as BT goes, I know today was a bit of a frustrating day, or at least it looked like it. He's had a couple of those. What do you say to him? What do you see from him, both in drills and then off the ball?
Yeah, there's not much, I try not to, he's pretty hard on himself in ways, so I try not to pile on in those moments, and sometimes it's better to let him be, and sometimes you got, go and, love him up, but, I think something that's kind of been consistent is, when the lights come on, he does show up, and that's something that I do enjoy about players, that it is different in the game, but things we've mentioned to him is he's not going to surprise anybody. this year, but he took the league by storm in a lot of ways last year and balled out. But people are going to have more of a plan, doubles, cloud coverages, different things. So just continuing to work on taking your game to the next level.
Have you had players like that in the past where the lights come on, maybe in practice it's not showing for whatever the reason, but the games happen? And...
No, nobody that really sticks out, but yes, to answer your question, yes, you've definitely seen it. I think this may be a little bit just my first time with it at the NFL level, maybe in a little ways, but I still have a lot of confidence in him. I firmly believe that when it's really rolling and he's going, I have a lot of confidence in BT.
And his relationship with Trevor, the connection, how would you evaluate that at this point?
I think he doesn't stop throwing them, and they continue to work at it, and there's no angst or ill feelings. It's just man, play the next play, move on, and keep rolling.
What have you seen out of Christian Braswell? What kind of opportunity can this be for him, just with a couple other corners kind of banged up?
Yeah, Braz has done everything we've asked him from the beginning. He works his tail off. He's quick twitch. He's strong. He filled the run nicely the other night. I think he has an opportunity to continue to take advantage of those ops. And he's a smart player. He understands maybe where his strengths and weaknesses are, and needs to continue to do good things on special teams as well to continue to try to make this team.
And then after seeing Dennis Gardeck working to the side, as long as he has to get back, how was it seeing him today, really kind of get immersed in things?
It's great. He's got a great energy, and like I've said before, I really have always respected his game and the way that he approaches things. And so hopefully he can continue to get more and more comfortable to get to a position where, we can get him out on the grass.
With the injuries to Buster and Tyson, does that change anything about how you guys use Travis or the plan for him?
No, we'll continue to do kind of what we've been doing out here, where it's offense, defense, getting reps on both sides of the ball throughout the course of practice. And maybe I think he's going to be primarily more on defense tomorrow and subbing in a little bit on offense. And then Thursday in the scrimmage, he'll do both as well again.
Liam, do you let the 170-yard field goal move your range back for him at all, or no? It's hard not to, right? I'm assuming.
It's hard not to. I think Trevor kind of summed it up well, where it's I don't know if we're going to be going for 70-yarders in the first and second quarter of the game, but maybe the kick line to gain is maybe a little bit moved back for us in some ways, but it was such a cool moment, obviously, as we've talked about, and to have the ability to do it, whether it's end of half, end of game, critical moments, we need points. You feel like you got a weapon to go and give yourselves a chance.
Coach, does that affect your play calling at all to have a kicker like that?
Yeah, it's an interesting study because, we've talked about the analytics behind, obviously, the fourth downs and being aggressive, while also having a guy that can make kicks from that range, and then also having a punter who can put the ball in multiple spots. So those are some decisions that we're going to have to make as a staff and to work through some of those dynamics, because you'd love to be aggressive, especially on the plus side of the 50, to go for it and continue to keep your offense on the grass. And then you got a guy that can kick it from 70, and you got a punter that can pin it. So we'll have to make some decisions when the time comes.
I know Eric was working off to the side, inside. Do you have any update on him, and can you evaluate the interior defensive line from Saturday?
No update right now on Eric. The interior D-line, I thought, played fairly well the other night, especially against the run. From a pass rush standpoint, we weren't doing much, schematically. We were just 4-man rush, I would say 85% of the time. So you're not going to probably see a ton when you're not there's no stunts, there's really no pressures, there's not a lot of movement going on to help them get moving, right? But I thought they played the run nicely at times. There's definitely some things to clean up, but I was pleased with their run defense.
Surprises and maybe more competition for open spots.
Yeah, I think the games always help you a little bit, just to see, okay, if there's guys that really stand out and shine in the game atmosphere that don't maybe get a ton of ops in practice. I don't necessarily feel like anything changed from the game from last week to now, but we still have 2 more opportunities to do so. So, yeah, I think you feel pretty confident about maybe 50 or so, and then there's a couple spots here and there that you feel like are going to probably go a couple more weeks. He definitely showed that, be able to go from tackle to tackle, going at guard. You know, he had the one jailbreak screen where he took the guy to the sidelines, which was cool to see. And he's displayed some of that physicality, toughness, finish throughout the course of training camp. You know, really pleased with his maturation and his style of play. So definitely somebody that's going to continue to earn more reps.